evening, comrades and friends from West Coast Berbice, New Amsterdam, East Berbice, and of course, right here on the Quarantine Coast. Welcome once again to another program of Issues in the News when we discuss the important issues that would have taken place over the last week or so in our country. Guyana is a very dynamic place, and every single week something or the other arises that cause a basis for great discussion. But before I begin today's program, or rather I would like to begin tonight's program with an interview with some farmers who have come all the way from Kanji to complain about a particular activity. They claim that their animals are being impounded unlawfully. They are poor farmers. They are from Reliance and surrounding villages in Kanji, and they tell me that pound catchers are impounding their goats, their sheep, and their cattle unlawfully. You will hear for yourselves as I invite them into the studio, because we don't have an extra camera at this point in time. So I will invite them into the studio and you will hear from them as they relate their story. Come in. Come straight here. Let's start with this gentleman. What's your name, sir?
Rayo.
Rayo. Where you live?
Good banana.
Good banana, Kanji.
Yes.
This comrade?
Kevin. Adelphi.
Adelphi Kevin. And
Me, Prala.
Prala.
In front of the Reliance Police Station.
In front of the Reliance Police Station. You?
Victor from Good Banana.
Victor
From Good Banana.
Good Banana Land, and you?
I from Reliance behind the station.
Reliance behind the station.
Stephen.
Now, tell us what is your concern.
My concern is, my business is rain cattle, right? And I was actually carrying out my animals from along where I lived, behind the station, to on the public road. I was escorting these animals in the vicinity within Rosal Estate and Kanji Bridge. And the men were coming in the opposite direction, and they were in front of the boat, and I was behind them. These men jumped out the car and turned back these animal limb. We had a big scuffle, argument, and they managed to take the animal limb to the pond. That incident took place last week Friday.
Where is the pond?
The pond was at the Reliance Station.
Right. And at the time you were with the animal?
Yes, I was with the animal.
So they took the animal to the pond?
Into the pond.
And what happened?
Well, they said I asked the one with the car, the boss with the four of them, right? They're right here, why you give me back my animal and they're behind them. He said to talk to the four of them in front, but chasing it. Right? If them tell them I sell it, let them give you back. When I go to the four and the four said come at the station, we're going to negotiate there. When we go there, they put all in the pond.
So how much money you had to pay?
I pay 116,400.
For how many?
I
goats?
pay for 16 big goats and couple similar small ones.
How much money?
116,400.
116,000.
400.
This is the first time that this happened to you?
No. This is the sixth time.
The sixth time?
The sixth time. And the previous time it was 74,000 and couple 50-50. And the last one I paid here was 61,000 I paid 3 days ago.
Again?
Yeah, 61,000 3 days ago.
How many goats you have total?
In total I have 175 heads of goat. Little and big.
175.
Yeah, I actually sold only at the whole flock. It's only 23 left to sell right now.
And you had to sell out?
Yeah, because of the situation in Kanji with these stray catches them, ponging my animals unlawfully on the streets.
Okay. How much were you buying?
Me buying cow.
Cow?
Right. Now, the cow me mine out beside me there. Me go and walk across there, and them have to come and sit right up on the bridge, waiting.
But you're there with your cow?
Yes.
You can only, the law, as I recall, I haven't read it recently, but the law in relation to pong deals with strays. Your animal must be a stray, and I believe it is confined to the public roadways, the public roads, not community streets, and certainly not when the cattle is in your custody or when you are herding the cattle. If you are in control of the flock, then it cannot be stray. You follow me?
Yeah.
So they are abusing the law. But let me hear from you now.
Yeah, but we live in Panama.
Banana.
Yeah, they may be saying now all the road show like left foot in the car, the side of the Savale. They may say country car running, pick up the thing, run it and take the road and come down. I asked them from the last time when we call me, I asked them, say, why you just run here to take a cup of water by my grandmother? The man get the whole flash sheep and go going on.
He has a car, the man.
Yeah, this man had to run a car.
Choked
And then when he gets left in the second why he rotted.
the man was a cheese and a sheep, then sheep end up with one and the sheep run away.
Yeah, couple sheep there from them and they carry on the rest.
And how much you had to pay?
43,000.
Right at Reliance.
Yes, right at the rail station.
You know.
Me and my mother just watch the animal.
Yeah, they
If the man left for gone home, and mother's on the road. The same day, one animal dropped 3 baby, one animal dropped 3 baby.
What animal is it?
A
go.
goat.
Goat.
I carry she home with her 3 baby, when they come up on the road, mother said don't put man down and carry an animal, she can't do nothing.
How much they care for you?
And care near 20 for me. Maybe near 100 something thousand.
100 and something thousand.
Yeah.
When was that?
But
Last week.
last
Last
week.
Yeah, well,
Last week.
Or the other week. 1 to 2.
Oh.
And this man don't know it, they depend
You
on.
know, me and my father.
And you and your mother live?
Yeah, he knew one of the resides.
This fellow with the yellow shirt behind you,
He give you a start.
He them goes, they walk with people small.
Oh.
And like
Yeah,
he
man,
people
they
who you taught it.
Yeah.
Okay. And you know?
Me I got some cow and I got some couple sheep.
Mm-hmm.
And the sheep they pound them 2 months ago, 2 months back,
Mhm.
I had to pay 41,000.
41,000.
Yeah.
How much sheep?
7 sheep.
And these are not isolated incidents.
No, this
These things are happening
yeah.
on a regular basis.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Previously
And they
now,
get special police when they're there.
previously now we got a one thing. Previously now skip by the local estate. When I come from after 3, then I get locked into my yard and lose them until about 5 o'clock for going pick and watch on the road when I got this spirit.
Now, these people who upon these animals, are they policemen?
No.
No,
They
one
got
police has
in
come
the
in.
car with them.
Not all the time. This week they had the police.
They have no straight catchers. Clothes.
Right now they make
Oh,
a
the
official
official.
clothes.
Whatever we're.
And normal clothes like normal casual clothes.
Normal civilian
Yeah.
clothes.
Yeah.
And get one man.
That's a no
And
thing.
they got any ID and so them show you?
No.
And the man beating animal real bad.
A man got a run out and a beat up the
You got a
man.
long guy with a horse
And a beating him.
and a beating never coming down his
Come
leg.
down there.
Right now, this after pick up some animal from Telangana. Resort. You
And
give
you
them
want
the
to-
right police station
The
there.
pump is getting gang from there.
Yeah.
Inside the road and said
They're in there, and the people in there right now, some people start to come here this afternoon, but during the day they get out the animal here. Then they get to come. Right now, some pensioner people, some of them girl and mining cow, they getting their money. I'm doing for a living. Them getting people there right now for pay all the money. Do they get the money for that?
Where they got them?
Reliance.
right now.
Reliance Station, right now.
Yeah, right now.
And how much you want to charge for one cow?
8,000.
8,500.
And 7,000 for
8,500
sheep.
for one cow.
Yeah, and 7,000 for
Goat.
And
And
you go take them worth the
7,000 for
money.
goat.
Yeah, you go take
If
them
you
worth the
got
money.
sibling goat, small goat, then you sell them and big and 3,000 for one. And you gotta pay 7,000. So then you do no business.
And this going on for how
Ah,
long?
this time. Now we have 4 months.
4-5 months stiff now.
Yeah, stay on it, stay on
About
it.
5 months.
Yeah,
Every day now they can. You see you come from work, you live in a field.
Yeah.
You get animal you lock up. So you come work, you change, you go to your house, you push something out,
So-
that's what being there.
They carry it to Reliance Police
Reliance,
Station.
yes, come.
To the pump.
But you know where these people are from?
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's from 53 village county.
They're from 53
Right
Village
now,
Quarantine.
we left for 3 or 4 pound man at this.
Right now, the police stations and all watching and come if you see them make anything. Right now, we
Right
let
there
them.
we let them Reliance stations compound.
So these are not policemen, but they're working with the
They're working
police.
with-
Yes.
All right. Well, as I said to you, members of the public who are watching, we will file actions
Against them.
against them in the High Court at New Amsterdam
I will
as early as possible. By next week, I will recommend, after we leave here, I will speak to a lawyer and then we will speak on the telephone. And we will take them to the court. And we will claim compensation for all the monies that you have spent.
Yeah.
Yes.
Because we will contend and we will be able to establish, because you will go into the witness box and you will say that you were with your cattle, you were with your goat
Yeah.
at the time when they took custody of you. And that is a wrong application of the law. That is a violation of the law.
Listen, hear what they did Friday. They saw me on the station bridge, right? I put the go them through the street to go to the backlands, right? They go them up to halfway. Well, they know me well because they spot me thing steady. So what they do, they go around the town and they wait. After they go them coming out, one day can I get down see them to go through and bring them out. So when I read by this state, by near to the station bridge, I get we hardly go them and they're not. They manage to get them again.
Right.
When I go and I complain to the station sergeant, the man see you can look into them, you can call it, like this way you do, you can give back me animal them.
Right.
Anyway, it go on, I pay me 63,000 back out.
The beat up plus
All right.
the man.
Well,
Plus the beat up your uncle took right there.
they beat up your uncle.
Yeah,
All right.
beat up your
Come
uncle.
back on the screen. You
Man,
see it? We're not seeing on the screen. All right.
And beat up the man,
Now-
put the man, found a black out of somebody, beat up the man.
All right. So we will make arrangement.
Yeah.
I will make arrangement for you to meet a lawyer, and we will file actions against these people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I want you all to try to get their names, and if you can't get their addresses, it's okay. But we need their names. Right? All of their names.
One name is a Raston.
Whoever they are,
No, we gotta
we
get
need their names, so you're going to work on that for me.
Yes.
As soon as we get them, get the names, we are going to sue them.
They said you want to
Right?
talk,
And every time they do this, we will sue them. And it will have to stop.
Yes.
All right?
Yeah.
Okay, then I want to thank you very much for coming.
Thank you.
And please continue to watch the program.
Yes, yes.
And if
Yeah,
you have
probably.
any further grievance,
Yes.
please come on the program.
Yes.
All right? They'll give you the cell number out
Yeah,
here. Right?
thank
We
you.
want to talk to the story too. You understand?
Don't
The
mention it.
story, yes.
Don't mention
Thank
it.
you.
Thank you. Thank you.
See you also.
Thank you.
But listen on the lad, just a minute. I take my the meeting, right? You
We will talk on the phone.
Now wait.
No, we will talk on the phone.
Okay, okay.
Right? Take my cell number.
Okay.
Well, callers, viewers, you would have heard the grievances of those small farmers. They work at the estate and they supplement their income through mining goats, sheep, and cattle. Some of them do not even work. You heard one of them, he lives with his mother, he has no father. He was given 4 goats by one of the persons who was here, and he was able to build a flock of 30 something. And that is what they have to go through. And this campaign started some 5 months ago. Well, as I promised, I am going to get one of our lawyers in Berbice. If not, I will have to come and do it myself. But this matter will not go unattended. We will file legal proceedings against these pound catchers or stray catchers who are extorting money, because that is what it is. Extorting money from poor farmers. The law is very clear, and the law is being manipulated, and the law is being misused by these persons. And I am sure that they are not giving the state the monies that they are collecting, that they are using this money for their own, they are stealing the money. I am sure that that is what is happening. They are stealing this money. So, as we meet again, I will update you next week on what steps we have taken. But I want to issue a call to to all farmers out there, if you believe that you are being targeted by these persons, by this gang of people, then please make contact with us, please make contact with me, and we will address the situation. I want to remind you that Berbice in quarantine, well, between Region 5 and Region 6, we have 5 MPs. The People's Progressive Party has 5 MPs in Region 5 and 6. We have Priya Manichan and Harry Gill in Region 5. We have Zulfikar Mustafa. We have Adrian Anamaya. And we have Dr. Vishwa Mahadev. These MPs have days during which they interact and they meet with members of the public. Region 5, I believe they meet at the Freedom House at Bath Settlement. Region 6, they will meet, I believe, they meet at the New Amsterdam Freedom House and at number 64 Village, I think, where we have another office. Please acquaint yourselves with these engagements so that you can meet and interact with our MPs, so that you can raise the problems that you have, so that we can get an opportunity to highlight them and to address them, to draw them to the government's attention, and when they do not address them in a satisfactory manner, well, then we take actions that we consider appropriate. So please make contact with our MPs. I know that Priya Manichan also has a law office at Bushlock. Harry Gill lives at Rosignol, not Rosignol, at the Edward Village, not very far from the bridge. And I know that they also have public schedules. Of course, the Freedom House offices at Region 5 and at Region 6 are open Monday to Saturday for members of the public to visit, and we always have staff there. We have party supervisors, we have party organizers, and we have people who can listen to your concerns and who can transmit it onwards so that we can at least try, if not to address successfully your concerns, at least to highlight it so that the proper authorities can be activated into addressing your concerns. So I just thought that I would say that. I want to also remind you that please get your copies of the Mirror newspaper. It is available on the stands from Saturday morning, every Saturday morning, and Sundays. You can get it. You have vendors who sell, but if you don't have, please try. If you don't have a vendor in your neighborhood who is selling, well, then we can arrange for you to sell it or for you to arrange for it to be sold in your neighborhood. But we want every single person to have access to the Mirror. Prints every weekend, and it has a lot of valuable information. It has our party statements, it has important news items, and it has a tremendous number of articles written by our party leaders, including yours truly, every single week. So please make sure that you get a copy of the Mirror newspaper. Last week I mentioned about our Congress. I want to remind you again, comrades, friends, members, please get your documents ready, get your cards renewed. Who needs to apply for new cards, please do so, or else you will not be able to participate in a very, very important activity. Congress is December, I believe December the 16th and 17th in Essequibo. It will be held in Essequibo this time around. So please ensure that your party cards are ready and let us meet and discuss the way forward for our country. Well, you know what is going on in our country. I want to begin by highlighting that the City Council of Georgetown, and I know that you may think that it is not relevant, but it is relevant because soon whatever is happening in Georgetown will soon come to New Amsterdam, Rose Hall and Corriverton. Whatever the government wants to be done in Georgetown, they would want to be done in the other municipalities of the country. And therefore what happens in Georgetown, you should interpret it as something that is likely to soon come to your municipality. Berbice has 3, New Amsterdam, Rose Hall and Corriverton. What is taking place? They are installing parking meters in Georgetown. And it is being done in the most undemocratic, authoritarian and unlawful manner. Up to now, no one knows whose decision it is to sign a contract to install parking meters in Georgetown. But we are told by the mayor and the town clerk and 2 councillors, Julia Garrett and Oscar Clark, the General Secretary of the People's National Congress, that they have signed a contract to purchase parking meters that will be installed in Georgetown. Now, the council is an elected body. It has functional independence and autonomy, meaning that it is independent. It is not, and it makes its own decision, but as a collective. Now, how does a collective make decision? A collective makes decision by way either unanimously or by unanimity or by a majority. So if all the council members do not agree, a decision will be carried if a majority agrees. In this instance, the council has not yet been given the opportunity to discuss the matter, yet a contract has already been signed. So this is a council that is made up of about 50 persons, but only 4 of them were part of a decision to buy these parking meters. So it was not a decision of the council. It was not a decision of the council. And let me tell you something. There is nothing that the Georgetown City Council will do without the green light from this government. Nothing, because they control the Georgetown City Council. Patricia Chase Green, Oscar Clark is the General Secretary of the PNC. And these are all PNC people. They were PNC candidates at the elections, the local government elections. So it was a government decision to install the parking meter. And how did they do it? They didn't take it to the council. 4 of them in some back room in a deal tie up this parking meter thing. What has happened since? The contract says that you have to pay $500 an hour to park in Georgetown. $500 per hour. That means for an 8-hour day, if an employee drives to work in Georgetown and they park from 8 o'clock to 4 o'clock in the afternoon, they have to pay $4,000 parking fee alone. If they work from Monday to Friday, at the end of the month, they have to pay $80,000 parking fee alone. The minimum wage in Guyana is about $40,000, which is half of what you will have to pay if you drive a car and park it to work every day in Georgetown. So no consultations were held with the people of Georgetown. No consultation held with the council itself. No consultation held with the people of Georgetown. No consultation held with the private sector. And this government, in conspiracy with the Georgetown Mayor and City Council, wants to impose parking meters on the backs of the Guyanese people. And Georgetown, as I said, will only be the beginning. When public criticism started to flow, then the government started to distance itself away and want to now create the impression that they have nothing to do with the parking meter. Bull. That parking meter's decision was a decision of the government. There is no councillor in Georgetown on the PNC slate, on the APNU slate, or there is no mayor that APNU puts there that will ever do anything against APNU's wishes. It will not happen. It will not happen. So, the attempt by the government to now pretend or convey the impression that the decision in relation to the parking meter is not theirs, but it is that of a few councillors, is an impression that is simply to fool Guyanese. It is their decision. It was their decision to remove the vendors from the streets. It was their decision. No town clerk will ever think that he has so much power to throw people out of the streets. People who voted for this government. It is the government giving them directions. But when the public criticisms start to flow, of course the government is stupid. They are very naive people. They get away with the 100% increase in salaries, and they get away with so many things that they think that they can get away with this one too. So they push the town clerk and the mayor in front, and they are hiding behind. And when the thing hit the fan, they now want to distance themselves. And the president now pretends as though he doesn't know about this decision. He goes down to address the city hall. After he makes a decision at cabinet that the government will review the contract. Comrades, I don't know if these people are brain dead. I don't know if it is incompetence. I don't know if it is stupidity. Or I don't know if they just don't care. But how can a government oversight and review the decisions of a duly elected independent organization? How? Government has no role to play in the decision-making process of the City Council, or the New Amsterdam Council, or the Rose Hall Council, or the Corriverton Council. No government has the authority to oversight or review contracts or decisions entered into by those independent elected bodies. Those elected bodies are not answerable to the government. They are answerable only to the people who elected them. There is a minister who holds certain responsibility, and the law defines what those responsibilities are. Every municipality and every local authority organ, the RDCs and the NDCs, they have a relationship with a singular minister. And that minister is the minister responsible for local government. That is their only interaction with the government. Government can't sit and oversight what these people do. They are elected by the people. If the people are dissatisfied with them, then the people will vote them out. Not if the government is dissatisfied with them. The government did not put them there. The electorate put them there. So just like how the government is responsible to the electors, the city council and the municipalities of this country are responsible to the persons living in that particular locality. They're not responsible to the government. The government can't dictate whether they must enter into contracts or not, or what contracts they must enter into. And imagine a cabinet sits down that has about 5 lawyers. You have Basil Williams, who's a lawyer, Harmon is a lawyer, Ramjatan is a lawyer, Nagamoto is a lawyer, Trotman is a lawyer. 5 lawyers sit down and can't see that this is wrong. I don't know if they're sitting on their brain, or if they're eating too much, or they're sleeping when they go to these meetings. And they give Basil Williams to write a legal opinion to review the contract. Of course, he is so stupid, he doesn't know either. That is the type of incompetence that one must complain about. I apologize for using strong language, but how else can you describe what you are seeing and what you are witnessing? 5 lawyers sit down and they don't understand that an elected body is not answerable to a government unless the law says that, and the law doesn't say so. So that is what is going on in terms of the parking meter situation. It is evolving, and as I said today in another television interview in Georgetown, any citizen of Georgetown can challenge that decision. Any citizen. You don't need the president to go there or the government to go and review. Any citizen can challenge a decision of the council. Within a local authority, any person who paying tax within an NDC area can challenge a decision of the NDC. At the level of the RDC, the same thing. If it is a municipality, the same thing. This is basic law, basic common sense. I want also to say to you that we have begun another outreach program, the leader of the opposition and us in the People's Progressive Party. Last week we were in Region 5 and we had some very, very interesting engagements. I want once again to extend my solidarity to the people of Region 5 who are affected by the flood waters. I had a very interesting call here last week where the caller was making the point that pumps are only installed in certain villages. If that is so, that is a horrible thing to do. All of our people, irrespective of political persuasion, irrespective of ethnicity, they are all suffering. I had an opportunity of going on the ground and I heard their problems. I saw their losses. I saw the devastation. Please, those in authority, please do not discriminate. Put resources in the most affected area. That should be the only concern of yours. Which areas are worst hit? They should be given the most resources, and that is how you allocate the resources. But the people are very happy to see us. We had some interesting meetings. I was in Champaign, Mycone Creek, and then I was at Dundee, Mycone. And a lot of people look at this television program in those areas, and I'm happy because they say that they listen to the program every single week. I saw a very interesting letter published in the newspapers, written by Abel Sitaram, the gentleman who they knock off from the AFC. Well, I don't know what is his mission now, but he wrote a very long letter in the newspapers. I didn't get to read all of it, I'm sorry. But the sum total of it is that he's blaming the MMA. He's blaming the MMA for what is taking place in Region 5 in terms of flooding. He says, as I understand it, and I believe he sits on the MMA board, I am not sure. Yeah, if he doesn't sit on the MMA board, he is very active in Region 5. And he must know what he's talking about. And he has placed the responsibility for the flooding at the feet of the MMA. I got complaints from many farmers, many farmers in Region 5, that there is an elitist group at the MMA who are seizing people's lands and giving it to themselves. And the people mentioned names. I am not threatening, I'm not warning, but I'm drawing to the attention of those who are in the leadership of the MMA. If it is that you are seizing people's lands and giving it to yourself and your relatives and your family, please stop now. Please stop now. If one such incident is found, if one such incident is found, civil and criminal proceedings will be instituted. And I don't need the police to institute criminal proceedings. So I hope that the information that I am getting is wrong. I know that at the level of the government, instructions have been given to revoke farmers' leases. And we have many cases going on in the court because I have challenged those by way of constitutional motions. When you take away a man's lease, you are essentially confiscating his property. If you confiscate a person's property, then you have to pay him compensation to the market value of his property. So when you unlawfully, and I don't, even if it is the president who has done it, the president himself has immunity from the law, but his actions do not have immunity. So I can legally challenge the actions of the president, but I cannot sue the president. So what I have done, I have challenged the actions of President Granger for revoking those leases. Of course, the Attorney General doesn't know the difference between immunity or the type of immunity. He doesn't know the type of immunity that the president has. So he says that the president can be sued and the president's actions can be challenged. The president cannot be sued, that is correct. But of course his actions can be challenged. And that is what I have done. And those cases are pending in the High Court. But we have this issue of land really assuming importance, because many people are complaining that lands are being taken away and given to another set of people. And we have to resist this. The firing at the level of the government and state agencies continues. And as I said, the statistics are there for you to see. It's one set of people who are being dismissed all the time. At Gaisuku, the whole top management of the estates are being removed. And one ethnic group of people are being dismissed and replaced by another ethnic group of people. It is apartheid taking place now in this country. And that if we do that in Guyana, then this country has no future. It has absolutely no future. I have said 1,000,000 times on this program that when we took office, we had an Afro-Guyanese dominated police force. We had an Afro-Guyanese dominated army. We had an Afro-Guyanese dominated teaching service. We had an Afro-Guyanese dominated public service. All these 4 important areas were all dominated by Afro-Guyanese. After 25 years, we left government. After 25 years, the police remains the same, the public service remains the same, the teaching service remains the same, the army remains the same. They all remain predominantly Afro-dominated. We never attempted to dismiss people on the basis of their race. We were in government, but we know how many people in the ministries were not supportive of our government. We never once dismissed them because of their political persuasion. I was minister. I had, working in the ministry, James Bond's sister. Mr. James Bond is a lawyer with APNU. He was a member of parliament with APNU, but his sister worked with me while I was Attorney General. Not a single day did I ever say anything to her about her politics. Because I'm not concerned about that. She has a right to work. She has a right to support a political party of her choice. And you have to respect that right. I had a personal assistant who voted not for the PPP. And all these people were dismissed. They voted for the government. They voted for APNU, AFC. And they were all dismissed after the elections. Alright, this is where we'll have to open the lines to take some calls. Caller, you're on the air.
Good night, Mr. Nadalar.
Good night. Where you calling me from?
Wim.
Where?
Wim.
Wim.
Yes.
Yes.
Sir,
Yes.
as you were saying, that whatever takes place in Georgetown will be taking place in Rosal, or
Yes.
it's happening right now in Rosal.
What happening?
The green people themselves, they've been asked to go in the market.
Yes.
They comply. You know what they did? They break the people themselves, board to board, drink to drink.
Oh Lord.
When they're married, what they married, we sell clothes, we not sell trees.
Yes.
My startup was gone. I don't know, carry it away. So I hung up on the nail, and from my neighbor's son, she didn't come.
This is where? Rosal on the road?
Yes. In the arch dam.
In the
Arch dam.
Arch Dam?
Yes.
Okay.
So I spread a cloth on my neighbor's stall and I put 9 child types, ladies types, and 7 babies beds. And I had a plastic with my drizzle and I covered my thing, and after they rinse finish, I roll the plastic and match it with a parcel there. When the collector comes to collect money now, she has to sell in there. I tell she me, she said, I got to pay for 2 stars. I said, ma'am, I never do this, but I do this service because I don't have a stand to have to put into. And that is why I put that. He said, I'm seeing a concert and you have to 5 stars, you have to pay. I said, but there's a few things only. He said, yes, we have to pay. I said, ma'am, you can't pay for 2 stars, I'll pay for 1. He said, well, she got to take out the thing. Let me take out the thing. Mr. Man, you don't take it out because that's couple thing only.
Alright, how much you pay for 1 star?
Put them away. How are we treating like this, sir? Your guys are not aliens.
And how much do you pay for 1 star?
$200.
Per day?
Yes.
Okay. And so...
Every day we go to them and tell us send the whole back.
Okay.
And when you try to tell them something and they get money to pay, they insult you. Some people don't pay. Some people pay $150.
Okay.
Most of the time I pay $200.
Alright, caller. Thank you very much. Thank you. So here again, you have market vendors who are complaining about the treatment meted out to them. As you know, hundreds were removed without notice from Georgetown and dumped in an empty lot. Caller, you're on the air.
Hello?
Yes?
Sir?
Yes?
I know I'm going to sell shrimp. My son and I sell shrimp to cycle. He gets to fish farm man along with the police. They take my son and shrimp from 8:30 till 12:30 and take the shrimp and throw it away.
Why?
They pay me for that.
No, you gotta go slowly. Where did this happen?
Rosal.
And your son gonna sell shrimps where? On the road?
Yeah, with the bicycle and sitting and they sell, ride and sell.
And who take the shrimps away?
The police with 2 fish farm man or another one. Rolly and Scotty.
And you know these people?
Yes.
And you know the policeman?
Come on, him. A big man.
Do you know the policeman?
You know policeman by the body was sent to man. What's up with him? It is going to start. I can't show news and I put them over.
Alright, caller, when you get your information, must drop it at this TV station for me, right?
Okay.
Please, as a narration, give it to you. Thank you. Alright, that caller is not yet fully ready with her complaint, but the gravamen of it is that she's saying that the policeman in the company of 2 persons who own fish pond sees her husband or son's shrimp and threw it away. Caller, you're on the air. Caller, you're on the air. That call is a little shy. Caller, you're on the air. Caller.
Good day, sir.
Yes, good night.
The same caller who called just now about his trip, right?
Yes.
It is a thing like this. I know everything. My wife is a vendor at Georgetown market.
Aha.
Right, sir? Let me tell you the truth and the plan. You get some shrimps to come and store in our over. So the vendor them will buy the shrimps, right? So to be frank with you, I tell you the truth. Because then I get shrimps in Guyana right now. The fish pan them getting a bucket of shrimps. So now about 200 bucket shrimps are selling Rosal market for a day. How the people them will live? You catch in a bucket shrimp in your fish pan. You come in with the police and of course some guys. You get it back. Now them already
So wait, they will seize your shrimps because they believe that the shrimps come from Suriname?
yeah, that's it.
No, but how do you know that?
Well, I don't know if the shrimps get banned or the shrimps banned in Guyana at all.
No, man. You gotta... What kind of madness is this?
Yeah, well, the guy is but a rolling for truth.
Alright, caller. Thank you. Thank you. Let me deal original chairman. I know that he is a regular viewer of this program. I hope that he is looking at it tonight. And I want to appeal to the mayor of Rose Hall and the council, the Rose Hall Council and the constabulary. There is obviously an abuse of authority taking place. Some custom officer is walking around with the owners of fish pond in Berbice and are seizing people's shrimps that they believe to come from Suriname. Now, I don't know how you determine that the shrimp comes from Suriname. I don't know how you determine that. So I am asking, please, to look into this matter to ensure that people's property are not unlawfully confiscated. Caller, you're on the air.
Hello, good night.
Good night.
I would like to lodge a complaint. Just a lady
Could you lower your volume? Yes.
And every Saturday is a lady working at the NBC. And she come in and she terrorizes all the Indian people in. Saturday morning at the market, she show you all the people that suspect, the people that stand and give it to the black people and I tell you this is our time now. And when people stand up and look at it, she's chasing the people in. And nobody is doing nothing. Every Saturday she comes specially and I carry the Indian people at the Georgetown market. And since the market built, the people are selling right there. The ladies Miss Moore and nobody is doing nothing about it.
Miss Moore?
Yes.
And who is she, a counselor?
I have no idea what she's working at the NDC.
She's working at the NDC?
Yes.
And Miss Moore?
Yes. If you come, if a camera come there every Saturday morning, you see what she's doing every Saturday.
All right. This Saturday morning, I will send Mr. Harry Gill. You know Harry Gill?
No.
Harry Gill is a Portuguese man. He's a member of parliament for the PPP. He lives at the Edward Village.
Oh, that's one. I didn't know him by Harry Gill.
Yes.
Who is he?
I will send him with his camera to speak to you.
If he comes direct 8 o'clock and he's going to see what she's doing every Saturday morning to Indian people.
All right. And what is your name?
Vanessa.
And you will be where? Because I'll send Harry to you straight.
Yeah, I'll be there. I will talk to him.
Where? You will be there where?
At the market.
Any part of the market? Any particular part? The fish section?
At the first gate when you coming in.
The first gate?
The first stand.
All right. And the name again, sorry? Vanessa. All right, good. Now the Rosignol NDC. I know that we have a lot of councillors at Rosignol. You heard this caller. There is a person by the name of Miss Moore who is attached to the NDC, according to the caller. And this person is going to Rosignol Market every Saturday morning. Let me repeat. A Miss Moore who claims, or who the people claim to be attached to the Rosignol NDC is going every Saturday morning to the Rosignol Market and taking away stalls from Indian people and giving it to Afro persons. That is the complaint that I have received. You heard it for yourself. So I am calling upon the chairman of the NDC at Rosignol. I am calling upon councillors, especially PPP councillors at Rosignol NDC, to please investigate this matter. I will ask Mr. Harry Gill, Comrade Harry Gill, to go Saturday with his video camera and to interview the persons there. And I hope that we are able to hear Miss Moore's side of the story. I don't wish to condemn anyone in their absence, both sides need to be heard. But you heard what the allegation is against Moore. Caller, you're on the air.
Yes, Mr. Nandalal. I am the same color as Carl before.
With the shrimps?
From whom?
With the shrimps or
Oh, the stars.
But we spoke already. We got to give other
Yes.
people.
So I get an issue here to tell you. They say that the PVP, some people claim that the PVP win the local government election, and this is the PVP doing PVP either because Mr. Ramu is the mayor there. PVP instruct Mr. Ramu to block out all the people saying that. Yes, so I really want to know if it's true or lie.
Let me tell you, all right, thank you. Thank you, caller. We have given very clear instructions to all our councillors and to all our mayors. They are to serve the people. They are not to deny people an opportunity to earn a livelihood. They are to meet with the people on a regular basis so that the people understand why they may not be able to deliver certain goods and services to the people. We have warned our mayors and our councillors that they are not to increase rates and taxes, that they are not to be breaking people's stalls and that kind of thing. We are not in the business of doing that. For 24 years we didn't do it in Georgetown. We can come in an area where we won the place and do it. So obviously somebody is causing mischief, and I will get to the bottom of it. I am going to invite somebody from the Rose Hall Town Council here next program. Caller, you're on the air.
Hi, good night, Mr. Donald.
Good night.
I call in from Roosevelt.
Yes, thank you.
And some of them people were calling there and talking to you.
Yes, I'm listening.
I don't know what to say about them because they're shame right now. All of them is Apnu people. And they can't take it no more.
No, but whether they are Apnu people or not, are our people at Rose Hall in the council, are we charging people exorbitant to sell? Are we seizing people's property?
No. We run Rose Hall, PDP run Rose Hall.
Alright, I will invite, alright comrade, we will talk off air, but I will have a representative from the Rose Hall Town Council to appear with me on this program next week.
Okay.
Alright?
We shall be clear that.
Yes, so that we can have a very fair and frank discussion.
Why they yelling now? And what they do at the election?
Alright. Let us, alright. When you come on
I want the PVP to come back.
Alright, caller, thank you.
Okay, good night.
Yes, good night. Now you see, that's why you can't jump to conclusion. That caller has a different version of what was transpiring. We'll take one more call. Caller, you're on the air.
Yes, sir. Good night.
Good night. You're a lucky caller.
I'm one of the vendors of Rosal Market who they put off the streets, and they are claiming that we are illegal vendors, but only some of us they removed. Not all the vendors from the Independence Avenue. They removed some of us, and they told us that it is illegal for us to sell greens and fruits. But only some people are being removed. If you go in Rosal Market tomorrow, you will see that from about the back part of Independence Avenue, people are selling greens and they are selling fruits. And also on the public road of Rosal, that is Rosal Town too, on the public road of Rosal, people are having stalls on the road, and we are being denied.
All right. Caller, thank you. Let me speak.
I want to say something more.
Yes. Sorry.
I want to know one thing. They are saying that we are not supposed to sell there because the people in the market are not getting sales. Now that is a very stupid and ignorant reason why they're removing us. That is very stupid to say that because we are selling there, the people in the market are not getting it. We are buying the same item. We are buying Baigan and Bora and everything. And if the people in the market are selling at a higher price, how will they get business?
All right.
Are selling at a cheaper cost that people can afford to buy. They are very stupid people.
All right. Thank you very much, caller. Thank you. Now, there is obviously, I don't want to get involved in whether the goods or the vegetable cheaper in the market or on the road. I don't want to get involved in that. What I would like to get involved in is a discussion in terms of what is happening. Are vendors being removed? Why they are being removed? And what arrangements are being made for them to be accommodated at a suitable alternative location. Those are the issues where if ever we take a decision to remove vendors, trust me, we will ensure that there is adequate alternative accommodation of a suitable type. So that's how we solve problems. We don't, in order to address one problem, you create 100 more. So next week it is obviously a problem occurring at Rose Hall with the market vendors. I will find out more about it, and on the next program, next Tuesday hopefully, Monday is a holiday, next Tuesday I will invite on this program a representative or representatives of the Rose Hall Town Council who will share their views with us on this important matter. But I want to close by reiterating that it is not and it will never be the policy of a PPP, civic political party, either in or out of government, to deny anybody a livelihood. That is not our policy. That will never be our policy. So those who are saying that we are giving instructions to demolish stalls, etc., please don't accept things without, verifying. Now this is where I have to say goodbye. We have long past program time. We have had a very, very interesting program. I had some farmers here earlier who are complaining about ponds, about their animals being taken unlawfully and impounded, and they are forced to pay hundreds of thousands of dollars as pound fees. We are going to investigate that matter, and I'm handing that matter over to a legal colleague of mine, a lawyer associated with the People's Progressive Party, and we are going to challenge this unlawful behavior on the part of those who are masquerading as pound catchers. Once an animal is in the herd and is in the custody of the owner, the law is not supposed to be impounded. But the court will determine that. This is where I have to say goodbye. Rosignol, that vendor issue, I will ask Comrade Harry Gill to go down there Saturday, and on the other matter with Rose Hall, I will have someone, an official from the Rose Hall Town Council, to be here with us next time. I want to say thank you for a very, very productive and interactive program, and this is where I say good evening and stay well until we meet again next week. Thank you very much. Until next Tuesday.